Hello, and thank you for listening to WRYAT, New Orleans' fifth-ranked public radio station. As always, we're broadcasting live from a prefabricated Home Depot shed located off of South Carrollton by the Popeyes.
Good day, fair citizens of New Orleans. It is I, Fellatio, translator of the King. As we descend further into the Carnival season, we must remember that we are only there by will and guidance of the King. So, without any further hesitation, to present more declarations to guide us even deeper yet still into the Carnival season, I present to you the Prince of the Parish, the Treasure of the Trinkets, Beelzebub of Beads, the Streetcar Guardian, first and last of his name, the King of Mardi Gras.
Kevin!
Pissing in public is only permitted in Kevin's yard. That guy is a douche.
Restaurant going down, give them all punches and bids on Mount Double Lemon Door. Outside on the door, won't hit to our house. If you go community, we'll give it all, it catch base song. Yeah, Mountain Kevin, no!
Anyone caught purchasing beads from a store during Mardi Gras will be sentenced to 180 hours of community service, especially catch basin cleaning. Kevin.
Take that, Kevin. Oh, call you about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to get it down. Tell me, oh, yeah, what? I am.
The following workday shall not begin until 11 a.m. any day after a Mardi Gras parade.
Kitchen, let me do, I can't laugh. Oh, my, the dog, I contact. The mumba, I'm going to go, but the right of choice. No, but go, but the poor red go, yep. Yeah.
Eye contact between a float rider and a reveler is a binding contract for the rider to provide a throw of the rider's choice to the parade goer.
Who's going to go to the dog? Go to the same high school. On the bone. No, never go. Taco from said high school. On the bone. Oh, yeah, no, Joe. Oh, chauffeur. And fuck Kevin.
Those caught attempting to cross a parade path in the middle of a high school marching band shall be punished by a tackle from said high school band's largest member or chauffeur. Fuck Kevin. By the word of the King for the people of the King, enjoy Mardi Gras.
Do you like overpriced and overhyped beer? Of course you do. You're a connoisseur, aren't you? Do you love a hoppy and bitter beer in an overdesigned can? You bet your fedora you do. Sounds like you need a sixter of Hipster Piss IPA. Hipster Piss. Hipster Piss IPA is brewed right here in the New Orleans Marinee by men with giant beards. Made with only the most select hops and barley, but just a splash of pretension in every can. Hipster Piss. And $7 a can, Hipster Piss is priced just expensive enough to make you second guess your purchase. And it's that second guess that gives Hipster Piss its full robust flavor. Hipster Piss. Do you always bring your rescue pit bull to the bar with you? Are you the person that always plays the oversized Jenga in the corner despite the fact that there's a live comedy show on stage? If you answered yes to both of those questions, then the Hipster Piss IPA is a beer for you. It's not just a can of beer. Nope. It's a lifestyle.
Welcome to ASMR Snack Chip Reviews with Anthony Scontrino. Now, here's your host and Munchmaster General, Anthony Scontrino.
Yay, I'm back again, here to review some new flavors of potato chips for you, the listening public. There is a dog present, a strange dog. So if you hear any weird sounds in the background, that's the dog trying to get to my chips. But doggies aren't allowed to have these chips. What do we have today? Trader Joe's is a brand that we haven't delved into yet. A popular grocery store chain recently moved into the New Orleans area. Wow. And a flavor heretofore unheard of in the chip game. Dark russet. They look huge on the packet. So big. Enlarged to show texture. Let's see how enlarged. The dog is to my left. Ooh. They smell cardboardy, as I feel like most of my reviews have started. This is a trend. Let's look at one. Ooh, a real foldy daddy. The baby has been folded up and become the daddy. Real light. Looks like a burnt chip. That's the russet. That's the dark. That's the kettle. That's the chip. Taste. Commence. Let me try a grouping. Oh no, the dog is going after a dropped chip. Recovered. Salty. So salty. That's good salt. Salt. Little crunch. Little salt. Little darkness. A good chip. A solid base chip with a darker flavor than normal potato chips. Moving on. Now this is a wild departure from the last chip. Trader Joe's Ghost Pepper Potato Chips, a lattice cut. One of the trendier types of cut for potato chips. Oh, the pepper even has a ghost pepper for itself. The pepper itself has died on the bag. The dog is licking salt off of the floor beneath my feet. Oh, if only you could hear the tongue. Let's open these. Wow, they actually smell very good. Not stinging the nostrils as I'd expect. A pretty uniform lattice shape on all chips, visible from the outset. I grabbed a smaller one just in case. The danger is too much. Let's taste. It starts off subtle, and then the heat hits you in the back of the throat, but not too much. A very pleasant taste from these. Let's try a big one. Not big enough. No. No, go back. Yes. Hallelujah. We've done it. 2 winners in 1 episode. Trader Joe's my boy. You get a double thumbs from me. Unless that's copywritten by those 2 dead men who used to review cinema. 2 peppers. Oh, they're so addicting. Oh, this one's real big and curved. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
This message is for all New Orleans citizens, New Orleans transplants, New Orleans tourists, and individuals who are wanted by the law in cities other than New Orleans. Have you ever had hard plastic thrown at your head by a masked rich person riding a vehicle made out of papier-mâché flowers? If so, let's sue Mardi Gras together. Rex has deep pockets, and it's time you said, "Taught me something, mister." Hi, I'm Mardi Gras, and you need to join Mardi Gras' Mardi Gras law cause. I'm here to say that when you come to New Orleans, it's time to sue the Mardi Gras. Do you want to let college students leave Smirnoff ice bottles on your lawn? Giacomo Fini, no. Have you ever choked on a baby Jesus? Has office tradition ever caused you to go into diabetic shock? If so, let's end the cycle of abuse by suing Kingdom Cakes. We're talking Haydel, we're talking Randazzo, we're talking those girls that gone vegan, and we would be talking about Rouse's if we thought what they sold was something other than a cinnamon cake covered in vomit. It's time we replace these baked goods with a proper tour. Do you like the Endymion Parade? Are you afraid a drunk driver is gonna mow you and your kids down with his Toyota Tacoma? Well, too bad I don't do that kind of law. But let's sue Pearless shirts. The clothes are ugly. Purple and green should be nowhere near a crawfish, you schmucks. Join me, Mardi Gras. Call me at 504-SUE-GRAW and call me soon because I'm very lonely.
Hey, Hey, boatheads, this is Donnie Damico,
This is Ronnie D'Amico.
and we're here to tell you that we can answer your burning boat questions.
Yeah, so if you have a question that's in your brain bucket and you want to tell us, guess what? We have a phone number.
That's right, the Boat Talk Hotline is live, and that phone number is 504-233-9337.
What's that again, Donnie?
Well, Ronnie, that's 504-233-9337. That is the Boat Talk Hotline. You just call and leave your name and a boat question.
Hey, pal, hold on. I'm writing it down. One more time.
That's 504-233-9337. You got it yet? I mean, it is
You
important.
said 338 or 337?
7. It's the one before 8. It's an easy way to remember the numbers that it kind of rhymes with boat talk.
Today's episode of No Sports is brought to you by Friends. They're all right. Welcome back, team. You're now listening to No Sports only on WRYAT New Orleans Gorilla Radio. I'm your host, Bryan TBD, and this week I've once again brought our show on the road to witness New Orleans sporting history because that's right, today is Quarterbacks Day. And while we at No Sports would like to congratulate Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes for winning the most recent Super Bowl by defeating the San Francisco 49ers 31-20, we're sorry, Patty Mahomes. You're not the quarterback we're interested in on this Quarterbacks Day. As we all know, 10 years ago today, on February 7th, 2010, the Saints won Super Bowl 44. Ah, I can still smell the victory. But as soon as everyone sobered up from the partying, a sacred tradition was born. Because the first concern that came to mind once the fog of joy cleared was what would the savior of the Saints, Drew Brees, do next? Would he retire on top? Would he bring it back? Would he make a legacy for himself by staying, or get paid the big bucks to slowly fade into obsolescence on the roster of a rival? The citizens and sports journalists of New Orleans had to know. So the first Friday following our Super Bowl win, a small crowd of reporters gathered on the lawn of the Brees family estate, knocked on the door, and awaited the answer we all needed to know. Well, Drew didn't take too kind to the large crowd of what he perceived to be paparazzi gathered on his grounds unannounced and chased them away himself. The reporters, having only gotten pushed and yelled at for trespassing, wildly speculated that Drew's direct aggression towards them and his willingness to take on the task of protecting his own property was an indication of his burning desire to return to protect this house. So, they reported on his inevitable return, and sure enough, Drew stayed. Every year since then, on the first Friday after the Super Bowl, and thus the end of the football season, a small group of local officials host Quarterbacks Day on the lawn of Drew Brees. Unannounced, of course, that will conduct a brief ceremony concluding with the knocking of the front door. Reporters and Saints fans have all once again gathered on these sacred grounds in hopes of receiving a welcome as cold as the one received by those sports journalists 10 years ago. And I have the absolute pleasure of sharing this timeless local tradition with you, team. And with Drew Brees reeling in the years, we can only hope that he has the same energy and will once again run us off personally. Oh, and it looks like the Master of Ceremonies is taking the podium now. Let's listen.
Hey, yay, hey, yay, hey, yay. Now the 7th day of February 2020, the 10th annual trek of the New Orleans Sports Journalists Club. Drew Brees, the breaker of records, heart of the Saints, will soon be alerted from his rest by the knocks of his many loyal fans and faithful followers. So, without any further delay, to offer our final blessings for the preceding season, followed by the ceremonial knock, I present the King of Mardi Gras!
Oh my God, it's the king.
Drew Brees, Mardi Gras.
I wish I could tell you what he was saying, team. Okay, it looks like he's fixing to make the knock. Here we go. And he's just made the knock. What's the future of the Saints going to look like? Well, this is taking a bit longer than normal. I hope everything is okay. Or that he's just home. Are those dogs barking? Yep, he's got dog shit. Looks like we're out of time. I don't know what this means for Drew Brees or the Saints, but this is definitely different to say the least. See you next time, team. Shit!
Hey man, hey sir, excuse me miss, hey friends, anyone have a quarter, can you spare some change, hello?
Beat it, Vagrant, there are children here, Vagrant!
Not so fast.
Hi, I'm Herman Gutter.
And I'm Adalicious Punk.
And if you're a traveler, crusty, or scumfuck who feels like they've been wronged by society, then come give us a visit at Gutter and Punk Law Firm.
We here at Gutter and Punk care about you, since your parents don't anymore. Well, really, they actually do. I've got $100,000 waiting in my bank account. If I ever so choose. But you know what? I only live off $100 and everyone's fucking leftovers. So, anyways, hey, we care about you and we're willing to fight to get the change you asked for, from 1 penny to the whole damn dollar.
Then kicked out of your apartment because your dog technically isn't a service animal?
Let us look over your lease before surrendering your squatter's rights.
Botched facial tattoo and or piercing?
We'll sue to get you a better one next time.
Charged with disorderly conduct, public intoxication, or some other BS crime made up by the man?
Let our bike convoy come pick you up from the pen.
Got cancer from unfiltered cigarettes?
Well, we can add you to the settlement list for American Spirits versus the Department of Health, so you can breathe easy again.
Nose broken in a mosh pit?
Let's just go fuck that guy up!
So if you identify as a gutter punk and are currently involved in litigation related but not limited to
service animal laws, squatters' rights, slander and libel, physical injury, false criminal charges, or any other legal issues,
then Gutter and Punk Law Firm is here to help you stay on your feet.
Don't let society push you around. Let us fight for the change you deserve.
That's Gutter and Punk Law Firm in the Quarter by the train tracks.
Or by Central Grocery, wherever we don't get kicked around to.
My name is Alan Jazzman, and this is the story of Jazzman Jazz Cakes, the original king cake. The year was 1710, and the United States was a dream where the dreamer had yet to finish lunch and was still a ways from going to bed. My distant cousin, Ruthie Jazzman, the perpetual rebel, had come to New Orleans to witness a relatively young celebration known as Mardi Gras. Word had spread north of this celebration, and Ruthie felt the pull to come south to experience it for himself. The journey south had proven to be relatively smooth for this young man. He came having been part of the AmeriCorps Brigade, an organization that sends young men and women into new communities to plant flowers and tell the locals about the local customs. Ruthie had only used the group to get a ride down south. However, along the way, one of his travel companions suggested they go to a Mardi Gras parade. Unsure of what it entailed, Ruthie agreed, and the pair went to see one of New Orleans' first parades, the Crew of Gary, the official knave of Mardi Gras. No greater moment was ever more special to young Ruthie's life than witnessing that parade. Since it wasn't technically supported by the larger parades, they had to go real cheap on it. Floats were pulled by children and dogs. The flambeaux, or torchbearers, were just women who held torches made of cat hairs. It was during this whole ordeal that hunger pains set into Ruthie, and he sought to cure it. After wandering around the French Quarter for untold minutes, Ruthie stumbled into a small bakery. Due to the non-stop bourbon that he had consumed, Ruthie's speech was not the easiest to be understood. As he stood at the pastry counter, he asked the baker for one of dem, but it sounded like cinnamon. The baker agreed, but asked for a size, to which Ruthie said, "I'd pound it hard and I got a booger," which the baker heard as, "I would round it out and cover it in sugar." And thus, the Jazzman Jazz Cake was born. This delicious treat sobered up Ruthie like nothing else had. Ruthie knew he had to patent his concoction. However, during the whole exchange, a mustachioed man by the name of Stephen Mundazzo had watched the whole exchange and knew if he acted quickly, he could capitalize on this tasty treat. Both men were in a race with one another to learn how to bake this rounded confection. However, since Mandazzo forgot which kind of sugar Ruthie used, he decided to make it with cake icing instead. The two cakes, near identical, only differed with granular sugar and icing on top. Word quickly spread across the city of these delicious cakes. Ruthie's Jazzman Jazz Cake and Mandazzo's King Cake, for he declared himself the king of cakes. Word quickly spread across the city of these two delicious cakes, Ruthie's Jazzman Jazz Cake and Mandazzo's King Cake, for he declared himself the king of cakes. This angered Ruthie to no end, and he challenged Mandazzo in typical New Orleans fashion of the time by second lining in front of his rival's bakery and calling out Mandazzo in a jazz scat. Mandazzo, no stranger to a duel, accepted, and the two men were asked to choose a weapon. Ruthie selected his Jazzman Jazz Cake, and Mandazzo selected a newborn baby in hopes to scare away Ruthie. As the clock struck noon, both men began to walk towards one another. Yet fate once again found a way to make jambalaya out of lemonade. As Mandazzo walked towards Ruthie, his foot caught a rock, and he began to trip forward and threw out the baby. Ruthie, without thinking, used the jazz cake to catch the young child. As Mandazzo stood up and saw what had happened, a new feeling crawled into his heart. He yielded the duel, and instead offered to team up with Ruthie. Their partnership will be represented by placing a small plastic baby that looks like it was flying in the air into each cake. Ruthie, joyed to hear this, agreed, and even agreed to no longer refer to his creation as jazz cakes, but instead as king cakes, a pastry born out of misunderstanding and brought together by fate.
Have you ever had a dad who told you to get a job? Has that dad told you to go to law school only for him to pay the school so you would graduate? Has your dad forced you to work as a partner in his law firm because he's old as shit and will die soon? Hi, I'm Stacy Walker. Other lawyers call themselves hammers, strong arms, or other stupid nicknames. At Walker, and my dad's friend, we only have one name. The mantis shrimp. And like the rainbow freak of nature, I will punch the ever-loving crap out of my opponents. Did some guy rear-end your car? Mantis punch. Hurt on the job? Mantis punch. Dad said you can't use the Miami condo during spring break because your grandmother wants to go? Mantis punch. Look, I do pure barre, none of that watered-down 5-pound jumping jack crap, like pure cocaine barre class. I watched a woman die next to me for a second because that Billie Eilish song was coming on, and I would not show any weakness in front of Tammy the instructor. So, if you need someone to go to court for you, and it's what my dad calls a work day, call me, and that old lady we hired to answer the phone will talk to you. I'm Stacy Walker, the mantis shrimp, and I will drink these shots of Jameson and go to court for you.
This is WRYAT New Orleans Guerrilla Radio. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.